Let me tell you something, Skip. You don't wake up one day, slide on a terrible towel, and suddenly become a Steeler. No, you get baptized in that black and gold fire. And now, we talk about Aaron Bleepin Rodgers in Pittsburgh. Buckle up. This ain't your uncle's Steelers anymore. Aye, a storm brewing in the Berg, look here. I told you all back when this chatter first started, if Aaron Rodgers ever really left New York behind, it was going to be for two reasons. Legacy and leadership. And now? He's packing both and bringing him to the 412. See? The Steelers ain't never been a place for soft landings. This ain't L.A. palm trees or Miami Beach workout. This is Pittsburgh, PA, where the steel ain't just in the mills, it's in your veins. And that's exactly why this Rodgers move makes sense. Rodgers ain't coming to cash checks and chill. He's here because a man named DK Metcalf got in his ear. Early and often. Not Mike Tomlin. Not some high-profile agent. DK Metcalf. A man who built his body like a Marvel superhero and trains like a Navy SEAL. And when Rodgers, the 4-8 MVP, Super Bowl champion, one of the smoothest arms the NFL has ever seen, says that's the guy who helped him choose Pittsburgh, you better believe this ain't no coincidence. This was a calculated reset. To DK Metcalf. More than muscle now, Skip. I know what you gonna say. Shannon, he just another big, fast wideout with muscles for days. That ain't all this man is. You heard Rodgers himself. DK ain't just about highlight catches or track star speed. That man's in the facility at 6 a.m. every day. And don't let that Malibu to UCLA line fool you. Rodgers still had to get up, drive and grind. And Metcalf was waiting on him. Discipline, culture, leadership. DK Metcalf brought that into the equation. Rodgers ain't following a paycheck. He following standard. And let me tell you something else. In every great quarterback's career, there's been that one wideout who elevated them mentally. Brady had Edelman, Manning had Marvin, Montana had Rice, Rodgers, he might just have found that in Metcalf. Third, the Aaron Rodgers comeback arc, let's keep it real. That jet stint? Trash bag. Ain't nothing nice about tearing your Achilles 4 plays into your debut. I don't care if you believe in darkness retreats or holistic healing. This league ain't got sympathy for old quarterbacks, especially when you 40 and looking to lead a locker room. But Rodgers ain't wired like most do. You ever watch a lion get injured in the wild? He don't whine. He retreats, recovers, then reclaims the throne. And now, Rodgers is healthy, hungry, and hell-bent on proving something. And what better place than Pittsburgh? That defense, those fans, that legacy, it screams redemption story. Tomlin's never had a quarterback like this. Rodgers has never had a receiver this physically dominant since prime Devonta Adams. And the NFL better be ready, cause these two about to go nuclear. Arthur Smith, the offensive alchemist, now him a pivot real quick. We gotta talk about the architect of this new-look Steelers offense, Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith! Look, Smith didn't set the world on fire in Atlanta. But let's not act like he didn't make Derrick Henry into a freight train and turn Ryan Tannehill into a Pro Bowler. You give him a Hall of Fame quarterback, a beast like Metcalf, and a couple young weapons. He gon' cook. This ain't gonna be your 3 yards and a cloud of dust Steelers. This ain't even gonna be the Big Ben toss-it-deep era. This gonna be motion-heavy, play-action magic, West Coast sauce sprinkled with deep ball violence. It's gonna look like San Francisco and Green Bay had a baby and dropped it off at Heinz Field. Rodgers under center, DK wide, and those tight ends eating off the middle of the field like it's a buffet. Man, it's gonna be scary. The rest of the squad. Who's stepping up? Now we gotta ask. Who else on that roster gon' rise? Najee Harris. You better believe with Rodgers in the building, he's gonna see more open boxes than an Ups warehouse. Less 8-man fronts. More 5-yard gains. If Najee can hit holes quicker, this offense gets real balanced. Real fast. George Pickens, ooh-wee. I can't wait for this boy to line up opposite Metcalf. You give him one-on-one matchups and Rodgers throwing dimes, Pickens gonna eat. Pat Freiermuth, don't sleep on him. He's gonna be Rodgers' security blanket. Think Jermichael Finley vibes with better hands. Look for 65 catches. O-line, this the big question mark. They got to protect a 40-year-old man with a rebuilt leg. You give Rodgers just 2.5 seconds, he gon' dissect defenses like a biology professor. Vi leadership in the locker room, Rodgers once said, the room goes how the top dog goes. Now that right there, that's gospel. Rodgers ain't walking in quiet. He bring in swagger, standard, and structure. And when your QB is doing 60-yard sprints after every play, the rest of the locker room either gets in line or gets gone. Tomlin's already got that locker room on discipline. Rodgers now brings intentionality. Every throw, every rep, every meeting, and DK. He already got the respect of that room. You put 2 apex predators at the top of your food chain. The rest gonna fall in line real quick. 7. Defense. Just hold the line. Listen, we ain't gotta spend 30 minutes on the defense, because this ain't new. The Steelers been carrying water on that side of the ball for years. TJ Watt, still a menace. Double-digit sacks, automatic. Minkah Fitzpatrick, center field general. Cam Hayward. Oge, still got juice. Joey Porter Jr., up-and-coming shutdown guy. All they gotta do, keep it close, get the ball back. Don't give up cheap stuff. This ain't the Legion of Boom, but with Rodgers on the other side, they don't need to be. Just be solid. Get turnovers. Let know. 12 go to work. EAC Bloodsport. Where do they stand? Now I know what you're asking. Shannon? Can this team really hang with Kansas City? Baltimore, Buffalo, Cincy? Look, the AFC is a buzzsaw, and no cupcake schedule in sight. But you give me a Hall of Fame QB on a vengeance tour, a wideout built like he was created in a lab, and a coach who's never had a losing season. Yay, I like my chances. They might not be the favorites right now, but they gonna ruin some dreams. And come January, ain't nobody gonna want to see Pittsburgh on the schedule. Trust me on that. Rodgers ain't here just to play 17 games and chill. He's here to reshape how we remember him. This is his John Elway moment. Elway left all them stats and MVPs in the past. Then he came back, got his rings with the Broncos, and walked off into the sunset. Rodgers, he's chasing that same ending. He already got one ring. He needs that second, needs it on a different team, in a different conference, at age 40. You do that in Pittsburgh, a city that bleeds football, that counts Lombardists like jewelry. You become legend. Final word. The steel curtain rises again. You don't choose Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh chooses you. That's what they say. That's what they say. And now it done chose Aaron Rodgers. This ain't just about stats or wins. This about culture, about belief, about a 40-year-old quarterback who still believes he can be great. It's about DK Metcalf showing up with a lunch pail mentality and dragging an all-time great out retirement mode and back into the fire. It's about Arthur Smith dialing up schemes that put fear in coordinators and points on scoreboard. And it's about Mike Tomlin standing on that sideline, arms crossed, knowing he got one more run left in him. This time with a gunslinger who's got something to prove. So you'll better buckle up. Because the black and gold ain't just bad. They dangerous. Shannon Sharpe signing off. And Skip, if Aaron Rodgers goes out there and brings the Lombardi to Pittsburgh, that boy might need a statue next to Franco Terry and the bus. I'm lying.